Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching Concert Junkies, Rob and John. Oh, yeah.
And would you like to introduce yourself? And we're live.
My name is Mike Ligori, singer of Screaming at the Silence out of Tampa, Florida.
So how did you get the name of the band?
It's not as cool as anyone would think it is. I'm an old person, almost 40, and it was an away message on Instant Messenger, AOL days. I just happened upon it, wrote it down, and several years later, it was like when we were trying to set up a name for the band, I put that in the hat, and that's what got picked. All because of AOL Instant Messenger.
I miss those days, actually.
Oh yeah, I learned between that and MySpace. I learned how to do basic HTML, all the basic computer coding.
So we're aging ourselves here.
A little bit, a little bit.
If you could bring back three things from the '90s, what would they be?
Three things from the '90s. Oh God, I would bring amazing alternative rock. One, I mean, what's alternative rock these days is not what I was brought up listening to. Gosh, what else from the '90s would I bring back? I would legitimately bring back Ecto Cooler full time instead of randomly. If anyone remembers High C Ecto Cooler, all of us Ghostbuster nerds will. Gosh, I don't know. I might draw a blank on a third thing. Just good old '90s alternative rock and freaking Ecto Coolers. Top of my list.
Out of all your music that you guys put out, which one was the most emotional one to put out?
Like in terms of creation wise, the full length album that we did called Slowly Becoming a Monster, that into itself is quite perfect with its name, because number one, it's a concept album. Local bands aren't really known for doing that stuff, and we went through so many ups and downs trying to write it, going into recording it, and just the creation of that full-length album alone was probably the hardest thing that the band has ever done. Which is weird, because when we get together and write songs, and it comes out organically, it's cool. But I think we put too much pressure on ourselves by actually giving it a concept and saying, hey, we have to storyboard everything, rather than just, here's a collection of songs. No, this song means this song means that. I need you to write something that means this,
So do you start with lyrics first, or how do you...
Music first. Music will come first. I mean, I personally, I have notebooks of just, bare lyrics that, if I had to say, in the hundreds of pages of that, maybe 5 or 10% of those words that I just, written blankly on a page ever actually make it into a song. Because sometimes I'll have something set up in my head that I haven't found the right music for it.
So, I know before we started, you said you were at the Taylor Swift concert.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You ever think of doing a cover?
Yeah. And if we can only make it as good as I Prevail's Blank Space, that'd be great. Yeah, I would totally. I'd cover Tay Tay any day. Yeah. I mean, we randomly throw in, covers here and there. We have an annual show that's called Halfway to Halloween, that you're guaranteed to get some sort of absurd cover out of us. This year we did Blinding Lights, The Weekend.
Nice.
In years past, Take Me Home Tonight, Dig Up Her Bones from Misfits. We did a Static X cover of The Only. Oh, another Taylor Dane, Tell It to My Heart. That one, still in my opinion, is probably one of the best covers we've ever done, which was just the craziness that we took it to. Having a drummer try to replicate the drum beats that first and foremost, the drum beats are not human; they were all electronic, and actually having a human being try to replicate those, whew, that was a challenge. But when we put it on stage, man, it was a blast.
Hold on 1 second.
All right.
Can you stop? I was almost attacked by the dog. Sorry.
It's all good.
So what do you have? What do you have, guys, planning for the end of the year?
We have a show coming up on June 3rd in Winter Park, Florida, at a place called Conduit, formerly known as the Haven, for anybody who's out in the Orlando area and watching. It's a cancer benefit, and as of right now, we have no further shows concrete booked. We've put out a lot of feelers. We have some music that we're writing, and hopefully within the next couple months we'll be in the studio to put out some new stuff, because we haven't really put out any new material in about 2 years. We between the pandemic and then getting back into show schedule all throughout last year, we haven't had an opportunity to really write and record. So that's in my opinion probably gonna be the main focus throughout the rest of the year, is just writing, just doing an EP, putting it out, picking up some shows here and there, trying to play various other areas throughout the state, or throughout the Southeast. I'm currently reaching out to some people up in Richmond, Virginia right now to see what can be done.
Nice.
And anywhere in between.
If you could pick one song to describe yourself, what song would that be?
One song to describe myself. Man. Oh man, that's a pretty loaded question. Ah, shit. I don't know. I mean, I'll jokingly say "Sharp Dressed Man," but that ain't gonna be. That's just the first thing that jumps into my head. But yeah, I don't know. I never really thought about that.
Not Shake It Off, or
Yeah, Shake It Off.
Yeah. Problem. No.
Yeah. I'm just happy that she finally admitted, that maybe she's the problem. But with every, she's got to break up to have a good album, right? That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't know. One song to describe myself. It's weird.
If you could change one thing in the music industry, what would that be?
Not make it so much of a boys club, or just an it crowd. Music is supposed to bring everyone together, but sometimes I feel that, you know, no matter what, the cool kids are still gonna be the cool kids about it. You know, even though us outcasts are the ones writing their music. You know, and in the music industry, I think it goes all the way into that. Like certain people only work with certain people and don't reach out to all of us guys on the bottom.
What do you think will ever change, though?
I think there has been a shift in the last couple years, 100%. Because if you listen to non-terrestrial radio, like anything with you know online music shows, your satellite radio shows, stuff like that, they're 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 opening the doors for a lot of unsigned artists to actually have a platform, which is something I think if you would have told me, 20 years ago when I started playing music, that was the time frame that, okay, we have to get a record deal. We have to, play by their game. We'll never get heard by anyone without, a record label backing us. Now I think independent is still on the ups. I don't think we've even scratched the surface of what an independent artist can do.
If you were able to pick your own 2-day festival, first day would be female fronted, second day would be dead or alive. Who are your top 5 for both days?
Female fronted on that first day?
Yeah.
Phew. Oh man, I'll bring back Lilith Fair. I'll get me Sarah McLaughlin, get me freaking Jewel, get me Liz Fair. Let's bring in some of the rockers. Joan Jett would be there. Hailstorm, Flyleaf for the heavier stuff. Yeah, that'd be a big portion of my day one right there. And then I'll just put together a freaking I can't put this on my bucket list show for second because you said dead or alive. I'm just gonna go all dead. I want Motorhead. I want that they'd be the biggest headliners. Bring back iconic Zeppelin. The Doors could do the mid show only because I don't think he would make it to the end of the day playing it. Maybe have Elvis. Yeah.
Fat Elvis or skinny Elvis?
Yes.
Yes.
Clone them. Just clone them. I want both of them.
Want both?
Yeah. Give me skinny old school Elvis, for the little rock and roll, and then bring old jumpsuit fat man choking on a piece of meatloaf. Oh, actually throwing meatloaf on that day too. Cool. I just remembered he passed not too long ago. Oh man. On the female fronted days, can I actually have a recently deceased person?
Yeah, that's fine.
R.I.P. to Tina Turner, who passed yesterday. Oh my God, that I'm not gonna lie, that rocked me when I found out that she passed.
That kind of hurt.
Yeah. If you can't tell, despite the fact that I front a metal band, I'm probably one of the least metal guys you'll ever meet. Which is metal, at the end of the day. I can glare behind me too much. There we go. But you were saying?
No, I mean, that'd be a hell of a lineup.
Mm-hmm. I'd love to see Janis Joplin on that too. Man, I got to put together this festival. Necromancer everyone.
I normally do this later in the episode, but I'm gonna let you flip it on me. You can ask me anything.
I'm sorry, cut out what?
I said I normally do this later in the episode, but you can ask me anything.
Okay. How many dogs do you have?
Well, it's my roommate's dog, and it's just one.
Oh, okay. Just like my real job, I'm the worst at asking questions.
Okay, speaking of that, what do you do except for the band?
Outside of work, father of two. My job title at a statewide pest control company is I'm a fleet and safety coordinator. So I'm in charge of the safety and upkeep of all the trucks throughout the state of Florida for my company.
Okay.
And outside, I mean, like I said earlier, father of two. I have a 8-month-old and a 3-year-old, and that takes up a lot of time.
Yeah.
You know, especially for being a musician. Where back in the day we'd be practicing, five nights a week. Now we're down to once a week.
Some is just once a month.
Yeah. I know. I actually have one of the other local bands around here. They will literally just get together a couple days prior to a show.
That's crazy to me.
It is. But they continue to put out new music because they have the ability of just writing whatever location they're at, which is something like back to my last point of talking about the independent artists and them being on the rise. I was actually just talking with our working fill-in bass player, and he and I come from, I guess you could say the old school where you write the songs, you go to a studio and pay money and put out the song.
Yeah.
We were having a conversation of how the times have drastically changed, and we wish that we had the technology then that we have today. Now, every member of our band, we have a kind of like a mobile or mini studio in our own homes. So, if absolutely necessary, each individual one of us can record our parts, and we don't have to see each other. Which kills the vibe of writing the song sometimes. Yeah. But at least for the creation of the song, like if our guitarist says, "Hey, I got this riff," sends it to the drummer. Drummer's like, "Oh shit, I just wrote a drum line to it," and then we'll send it around. And by the time it gets to me, it's almost it's not a full song, but it's at least a strong enough blueprint of a song. And I'll just go in my garage, or I'll make a corner in my office, and I'll go lay down, a vocal track or a scratch track, if you will. That's something that's awesome. Now,
do you guys use Reaper or Pro Tools?
We're actually using all Reaper.
Reaper.
Yeah, I think it's so much. It's super user friendly. We all grew up using Pro Tools, so we already have the standard knowledge of most DAWs. So when we all decided, all right, we're all going to roughly buy the same independent rigs. So we've all got like a Scarlett direct box for recording going into Reaper. We're all on the same level playing field. You don't run into an issue with, oh, this track's not able to be played because it was made on a different format. We just send the tracks to ourselves, and it's freaking awesome. At the end of the day, it's freaking awesome what we can do now versus what we had to do back in the day.
Do you mix and master in house, or do you send it out.
We'll send it out. Like I'll tinker with some initial mixes, so the guitarist. But when it comes to that, I want a fresh ear to do mix and mastering. That way, no one. It kind of like levels that playing field, if you will. If you have an outside source doing the actual mixing and mastering of it, that way no one's louder than the other person. No one's complaining that they're louder than another person. But yeah, no, absolutely send it out. Outsource that part.
If you sent yourself a letter when you were 8 years old, would the 8-year-old self be proud of you today?
Absolutely. There definitely would have been that weird gray area in the early 20s where you're like, what are you going to do? What are you doing with your life? But I think so. I think I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Yeah, I think my 8-year-old self would be super proud, because I think if I was maybe just whenever the first time I saw Poison's Unskinny Bops music video,
okay,
that was literally the day that I looked at my mom and I said, "Mommy, I'm gonna be of course, when you're a kid, you say, I'm gonna be a rock star," And here I am. It's 2023. I'm almost 40 years old, and I'm still doing this. When I've had friends, who came up with me in the late 90s, early 2000s, that threw in the towel a long time ago. I've had friends who are phenomenal musicians just stop playing because I don't know. I guess they didn't make it in time, and I'm gonna keep pushing. I'm not my drive to be that big rock star isn't what it used to be. Now it's more so learning how to be an independent artist. I'm good. I can still put my music on platforms. I mean, for crying out loud, we got fans in Brazil and Japan. That was weird. They've commented to us saying, and we have to do like a Google Translate because we don't know what the hell they're saying. But we've gotten some reach, which is totally awesome. That another country, another culture is vibing out and rocking out to Little Screaming at the Silence from Tampa.
When was the first time you were recognized in public?
That I've ever been recognized in public?
Yeah.
I was at a concert, and I randomly saw someone wearing the band's T-shirt. I can't remember the date, but I can say it was one of the last Ozfests.
Okay.
So that was probably the first time that I got recognized. But there's also a running joke with us that I am the least recognizable person in the band, which is totally ironic considering that I'm the front man. I've literally gone off stage covered in sweat, holding the microphone, and somebody would run up to me and go, "Holy crap, did you see that band?" And I go, "Yeah, they sucked." And I just walked away. I didn't know how to react to that. But yeah, no, there's a long-standing joke of me just not of me being invisible up there.
So speaking of your band members, which band member would you not want to be for 24 hours?
Say again?
Which band member would you not want to be for 24 hours?
Who I wouldn't want to be for 24 hours. I would not want to be my guitarist Danny Barrios because he's a mechanic. He works his freaking ass off in a hot garage, and my pampered office ass probably couldn't handle that. He's honestly been my savior on a couple times, so I wouldn't want to be in his shoes on the conditions he works in some days.
It must be a blessing to have a mechanic on tour with you.
Oh, absolutely. Luckily we haven't had, knock on wood, we haven't had any real mechanical issues. For a moment I thought we were going to have a blown trailer tire, but it ended up not. It luckily made it all the way through the show. But that was also the same show that we were up to freaking 3-4 in the morning to be on the road at 7-8 o'clock in the morning to get out to a festival. We were trying to wire a van that for the trailer lights, and we could not figure it out. The wiring schematics were all wrong. It looked like someone went back in and just threw some random wires in there, so we couldn't figure out what wire was going to what. So that stumped him. That stumped the mechanic. We even brought in a guy who worked at U-Haul to try to wire it for us, and it ended up being that if we were running the running lights, the brake lights would be on, and if I hit the brake, the running lights on. Everything was exactly opposite.
Wow.
So, yeah, made for a fun drive home with everyone honking at us.
I mean, you could have had a sign, honk if you know who we are.
Motionless in White knows who we are because their trailer was crazy dirty, and it was behind a venue down here that used to be called State Theater. So they had a white trailer that just had just miles and miles of road dust on it. So we just went back there, instead of doing the wash me, we wrote our Facebook handle, our YouTube handle. Crudely drew our logo on the back of it. So they figured out who we were real quick.
They ever message you back?
No, unfortunately not.
No. Hey Chris, if you're watching.
Yeah, if you're watching, first and foremost, sorry, not sorry.
Is there any bands by you that you'd want to shout out?
Down here, that I'll give a shout out to? Yeah. Let's give a shout out to Cunningham Wake, my boy Jacob Sin, Otherworld. Man, I hope I don't want to come across like I'm forgetting anybody. Highest Crown is another band down here that say what's up to. Friends Filth over in Orlando. Yeah, what's up, y'all? And to anyone I've forgotten, please accept my humble apology. You know I love you. Yeah, we have a tight knit community of bands down here, which is awesome, because I know a lot of scenes don't have that family aspect, if you will.
If you could collab with anybody, who would that be?
Say again. You just cut out. You keep cutting out here and there.
If you could collab with anybody, who would that be?
Oh man, here we go with my non-metal roots. I want to do a track with Post Malone. I know he's got metal in his heart. I would love to have him jump on a track with us, because we're not super hardcore. We got some groove to it. He can put some crazy shit on what we do. That's my personal. Yeah, I'd love to do a track with him. And obviously if I could get the top notch people like Chino from the Deftones, Maynard from Tool, any of those bucket list bands, sure. But I think as far as artists would go, that I think has some sort of tangibility to it, Post Malone all day. Yeah, no question.
He's actually playing by you over the summer.
Is he? Oh,
yep.
Oh shit! Might just have to go hit that up. I just paid damn near $600 to get some Aerosmith tickets.
I get it. It's their last one.
And that's honest. If they didn't say, hey, this is our last tour ever, which I know it might be a lie, because Kiss has been on their final tour for 20 years. Motley Crue's been on
their final. Slayer
yeah, and they
final. I mean, like, I get it. I'm just gonna lie to myself and say, no, this is their last tour cycle. They're done. I did not, I did not just drop, like I said, damn near $600, for nothing, just for them to feed their egos for one last run. I mean, there's plenty of times that I went to go see a band from childhood, like Warrant and we call it Dawkins, and stuff that me and you are about the same age. I mean, I probably I'll be 40 in July, so we're about the same age. Yeah, okay. I've seen bands that we were that we grew up with, and I couldn't hit the notes. It was like, I won't say it was a disappointment, but it kind of was.
Oh sure. Like I luckily got to see Motley Crue on the Carnival of Sins tour back in the mid 2000s, and that was, Vince was barely hitting the notes then, and then you see all the videos of him now, and good on you for still trying, but
I'm saying
he just can't do it anymore.
Certain songs should have been done earlier in the set.
Sure.
When you're fresh.
Oh yeah. Yeah, don't try to end your night with Livewire. But
as the singer of the band, you should know by 45 minutes in how your voice is.
Absolutely.
I mean, or maybe
absolutely
even earlier than that.
Yeah. No, the band knows when we're picking like a set for a show, they know which songs that we're not gonna. I will not put in the beginning of the set because it's too extreme. And I said I'll say, hey, if you guys will do it, but I'm telling you right now, by song 5, I'm done, because we have I think it's like a 8.5, 9-minute song that is just highs, lows, everywhere in between, and it's a good closer, but it is not something that I want to do, like, for definitely not first, definitely not even like third or fourth.
you know.
Well, if you're playing the entire album,
Mhm.
do you go in order, or do you?
Oh yeah, we when we did our run for the Slowly Becoming a Monster, yeah, we had to do that one in order, but we were also smart and made that extreme song the final opus of the album.
So
So
track 10 or whatever. What?
yeah, track
Whatever track number.
I
It was lower
think
on
it was
the.
like 12 or 13 or something like that. Yeah. No, it was created smart and it was built smart because we knew that we were going to have to perform it in order.
So as a lead singer, do you have any tricks for anybody to when you're on tour to not kill your voice?
Yeah, stay away from a lot of me personally. I stay away from citrus when I'm getting ready to go sing. Like to practice tonight, I'll stop off. I'll grab myself like a warm tea. I'll do my vocal warm ups in the car on the way up there. Breathing exercises. I was actually just talking to someone today who was questioning, my methods and everything on singing, and I told him because he wanted to learn how to be a screaming vocalist too, and I said before you do that, don't jump into just doing a harsh vocal. Learn your breathing first. That'll help. Warm up and and cool down, warm down. I do a warm up exercise going into practice on the drive there, and on the drive home I'm kind of repeating what I did as a warm up, but just kind of like bringing me back down, not doing it as intensely. Yeah, breathing. Do your exercises. Learn some exercises. Learn some. Even if it's like like well, someone would be like, "Oh, that's kind of stupid." Like doing a something like that. That actually helps. Do your exercises. Don't do citrus. Have something warm. You know, that's a good technique for a lot of vocals.
Do you drink before performance or no?
Um, nothing heavy. Nothing heavy. I back in the younger years, sure, would have a couple drinks, get on stage. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the best when I've had a couple drinks on before getting on stage. And that's just not because I'm a bumbling idiot or anything like that. Just I don't know. I just feel sluggish. Especially if I will not have a beer before a show. I can't. That I feel like that weighs me down. I may these days I may have like some vodka 2 hours before I get on stage. But the rest of the time, it'd be warm tea and water. When back in the day it was all right, cool. We're on stage. Everyone bring us whiskey shots. Oh, that hurts.
Since I know you do have practiced a little bit, do you have any messages for your fans?
Messages for the fans. First and foremost, thank you for sticking around with us. We would not be where we are without any of you guys. I promise you, we'll have some new music in the next couple months. We're working very hard, and we've got some good jams coming this way. We're bringing back some old school flavor, which when we started, yeah, we kind of teetered between new metal and metalcore. Then we went just straight blistering metal. Now we've toned it back. We're bringing a lot of groove back into our stuff. I think the current fans that like the extreme stuff, and the older fans that like the more bouncy stuff, I think we've found that happy medium that everyone's just gonna freaking, I'm hoping, go ape shit over, because we're even in our practice room, we're back to having so much freaking fun writing it.
All right, would you like to drop your handles where you can be followed?
Yeah. Facebook.com, Screaming at the Silence. You can find us on Instagram. I think it's Screaming at the Silence or Official Sats, one of the two. YouTube. You search out "Scream at the Silence." Our page is there. We're venturing into doing some just like how do you put it? Not blogs, but like little video things here and there to put up on the YouTube. Of us mostly just fucking around, having a good old time.
No OnlyFans for you?
What's that?
Said no OnlyFans for you?
No. We haven't made it to the part where we're such starving artists that we're going to show our buttholes.
Oh, okay.
No OnlyFans, and really not. We haven't even. We've talked about doing a TikTok, but I don't know. Maybe as soon as we get a better handle on things, because we're we might actually do it for the small little videos for the creation of the EP and stuff. That's actually a good idea. All right, maybe
John,
coming soon.
Since you're pretty much on every other platform.
Yeah, we might even still have a MySpace for all I know. I can't log into it, but I'm pretty sure we're still on it.
Main thing and smart thing is to always keep them all the same.
Yeah.
Even same photo.
Yeah.
So it's easier to find you. If you're
Yeah.
going to TikTok, make sure it's the same photo you use for Facebook, YouTube, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because it'll help bigger reach.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I'm gonna say have a great night and thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me on, man.
Facebook. This is on Facebook. Concert Junkies Rob and John YouTube. YouTube Concert Junkies Rob and John YouTube. Twitch is just Concert Rob, and if you're not a subscriber, hit that button. It's free.
Click it.
Have a great night.